Saying pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do roll call, Ben.
Yeah.
Joe.
Here.
Dan.
Yeah. We're going to skip past the reading of the minutes from last month. We'll go back to that. We're going to do guest speakers first. So, Lincoln County Commissioner candidate Dan Kaufman. Like to stand up? You might. Sure.
So, gentlemen, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Oh, no, I don't need that. I am trying to hit all the township meetings to introduce myself to the commissioner, to the trustees in particular. My name is Daniel Kaufman. I'm running for county commissioner. I am running against Tim Bubb. This March, there's also two candidates running against Feitner. So there'll be a primary. All three of them are Republicans. I am a Democrat running against Tim Bubb. I'm not running against Tim Bubb. I'm actually running on an idea. My background is former service director for the city of Newark, and I don't know if anyone knows what that means, but you know, I was in charge of the streets, water, sewer, storm, IT, engineering, zoning, planning, all that stuff. Those are the things that I managed for the city of Newark. Recently I was the village administrator for Buckeye Lake, but they asked me to step down when I became a candidate for commissioner. So my background is in city management and village management and things like that. My idea though, which is what I wanted to tell you guys, is that I'm mostly running on the idea that we should start a charter commission for the county to change the way the county government operates. Because right now it's what's called statutory, meaning they can only do what the state tells them. If we get a charter, which is something like Newark has, Heath has, Buckeye Lake has, it creates an opportunity for the government to be more flexible. That flexibility allows the commissioners to be more of service to the townships. And that's what I'm running on. I would like to see this idea of a charter commission be put forward and then a charter government in the county be adopted. My personal opinions are we have too many elected officials. My personal opinions are we should have 6 or 7 commissioners who are part-time and should be voted by districts around the county. Meaning that this district would have its own commissioner where your trustees would have somebody they can go to who has flexibility to meet the needs of the various townships. So that's my idea and that's what I'm all about. And you know, I've been told 1,000 times a Democrat can never win in a county-wide race in Lincoln County. And I hope that you all, you know, and you all take the time to what I have to say as the campaign progresses and call me and ask questions if you have them. So, yes.
Do you have anything to do with the supporting 4-H? Lincoln County 4-H?
Personally, I was in 4-H as a young person, and my opinion is 4-H is a valuable asset, or a valuable thing for everyone, you know, to participate in. I personally have nothing to do with it, but I don't know what the commissioner's role or in relation to it is. But if there's ever a question of supporting 4-H, I would support 4-H in a heartbeat. That shaped my life as a young man.
Okay.
You know, I remember my rock collection. So, but I don't know what a commissioner would have to do with 4-H, to be honest with you.
Well, if it was ever brought up around you, unless, you know, because there's a lot of money that goes into the support from Lincoln County and other counties in each 4-H group. And if somebody brought up and said they want to get rid of it, then I know that you would be standing there saying no.
Oh, no, yeah. I'll tell you what I am in support of is soil and water conservation. That district has been decimated by the current county commissioners. They have cut the funding 70% over the last 2 years. And what most people don't know is the Soil and Water Conservation District isn't required to be supported by the commissioners, but it is a function that the state asks that we have as a county. Every dollar the county commissioners give soil and water is matched by the state. So if they cut $1 from the Soil and Water Commission's budget, they lose too. And now the Soil and Water Commission has to go to the levies to try and get their money that they need to operate. I find that that is one of the worst decisions commissioners have made, Republican or Democrat. When, if you all follow the budget of the county, they didn't spend $9.8 million last year. So that's called a carryover. When you have that much money carry over with the taxes that this county has, that they're collecting, and they're not funding soil and water fully with the match that they get from the state, that's a big mistake. Big mistake. So, you know, that's one of the things I will be very vocal about, is that we need to either reduce the taxes back to what they were in 2005, or spend that money and fund soil and water. That's just one of the few things I'm very much for. So that's all politics, though.
Yeah.
But it's one of the things that I believe in. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, you feel like you're honest?
I'm trying to be.
Okay, are you running because you got money, or are you running because you need a job?
My personal finances are very solid. I semi-retired about 3 years ago. So,
Good enough.
pardon me?
I said, that's good enough.
That pay, you know, for example, it's a part-time job. And one of the things I would advocate if we became a charter government is that each commissioner, if we, let's say, go to 7 commissioners, that they only receive $20,000 or $25,000 a year. They don't work that much. It's not a job that I need or want because of the paycheck. I believe that they shouldn't receive benefits either. So that's my own personal opinion, though, but that clouds the idea that we should start a charter commission review. So personally, my finances are in shape. Personally, I have resources that
So you're running because you want changes?
I want to see that government change. Yeah, become more flexible, more available to township people. So,
Why are we charged on taxes for this flood control out of Muskingum County?
there's an agreement. It's a long and complicated thing, and Newark is part of that agreement because
We wouldn't be flooding around here, surely.
It's a district. It's kind of hard to explain. So let's just say there's a 4 or 5 county district that composes this flood body, this group of people that control the flooding. Because of the flooding that happens in multiple counties, they all have come together and they tax and they levy each other. And then there's this one group that spends and controls the money. Because I dealt with this issue intimately and closely in Newark, I believe that the Muskingum group is efficient, effective, and does its job. You may not see the direct results of it here, but the region feels the results. I mean, think about the rain we got in the last year and how little flooding we had. It's a direct result of what the Muskingum group's doing. So personally, if I were asked whether I support that or not, or that this county should be paying into that relationship, I would say we should continue doing it. But that's because I've seen the direct results of it. And if we had a flood in Newark, I would be the guy to hang on the cross. So, you know, so I appreciate what they've done. It's so hard to explain. It's very complicated. But the work they do and the efforts that they put forward are pretty astounding. So, and Newark is a great example of that. So I hope I answered your question. Yeah, I didn't want to jump around too much, but that's one topic that takes several hours to talk about.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ben.
Next, Chief Wilson.
Hi, good evening. My name is Mike Wilson. I'm the chief of Licking Township Fire Company. We contract our services to the western half of Bowling Green Township with these gentlemen to provide service, both fire and EMS. I'm here tonight just to present to trustees. We keep a tally of all the runs we have in your community. We did 102 runs last year. It's all stuff that's public information, but kind of lets them know what kind of runs are going on, what maybe we're having a bad wreck at a certain corner or something, because maybe they can get some feedback to do some things if they see it necessary. So there's that. There's also a sheet of accomplishments that the fire department did this year. I'll be real quick. We put 3 new members on. We had 2 members that upped their fire card to what they call Firefighter 1. That's the second level of training we go through. We also had 1 member that went to a Firefighter 2, which that is what we call the professional card. That's what like any professional firefighter would have. And we also put 2 of our EMT basics through medic school, and they have completed the course, passed the National Registry, and are now practicing medics. So we've upped the qualifications of our people to serve you guys. We also did fire prevention to Lakewood local school system, about 750 students that we do every year. We wrote and received an $1,800 training grant from the state. We wrote and received a $4,500 EMS grant from the state. We wrote and received a $84,450 FEMA grant for firefighting gear. That is something that was unexpected. You write stuff and hopefully a year later you get it. So that's also in that $84,000 is a washer and a dryer, they call it an extractor, that properly cleans the equipment. So we're very fortunate to get that. That's money that we don't have to spend out of our budget to provide new gear. Our gear was almost 10 years old, and by NFPA standards, that gear needs to be taken out of service after 10 years. Whether it's brand new in a package, they're saying it's outused its life, okay? So we've written this year, well, we also wrote 2 FEMA grants, one for a new EMS unit and one to buy new SCBA, our air packs that we wear. We're still waiting to hear back from that. We haven't heard anything. So that's on that sheet. And the other sheet is all the run totals, what we've had over the year as far as our department, our response times. I don't know if anybody knows this, but we are a part-time paid department. That we have part-time people on duty from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday in the station in Jacktown, and from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Let me change that. I said that wrong. 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday in Jacksontown. We have people at Station 2 on Flint Ridge Road in Franklin Township from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. And then on Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, we staff the building in Jacktown from 10 o'clock at night till 6 o'clock in the morning with 2 people. That enables us to get out in the middle of the night. We are a volunteer department also, so that takes the pressure off some of our volunteers that have to get up and go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I think we all can appreciate that. So that goes all through that. We had, I don't want to bore you with a lot of statistics, but I put the good and the bad on here. We did 901 runs. That was down about 60 runs from last year. Not in your community. Remember, we did 102 out here. But our average response time, just to let you know how important it is to have people on duty at the station. When we're a volunteer, it takes us roughly 4 minutes, and that's a pretty good time for a volunteer department to respond from their houses and get out the door. Yeah, that's a volunteer, 4 minutes, and it takes us almost 11 minutes to get on the scene. Now you got to understand, we have 63 square miles of territory. So if we run to the traffic light there in Jacktown, that's a pretty quick response time. But if we go clear out here in Bowling Green, or we go clear into Franklin Township, that's going to deviate. So how far you live away from the station, of course, is all a big average, okay, of what we do. But it takes us 11 minutes as a volunteer on an average to get there. When we're paid, when we have the paid people there, we're out the door in less than a minute and a half. Okay, and that's on all runs. That's fires, which is going to take a little more time to get dressed and get out the door in your fire gear than it is just to hop in the medic, fire it up, and get out the door. But we're on all our average on-scene times. That's from the time our pagers go off for our radios. We're out the door in a minute and a half, and we're there in less than 7.5 minutes. So there's about a 4-minute difference, 3.5, 4-minute difference for being on the scene. Okay, but that's a lot of time when you need us. And you got to understand, we do cover 63 square miles, which is a lot of territory. So I'm going to stand here and tell you tonight, early intervention. You don't feel well, that's what your tax dollars are for. We do not bill for our services. I don't know if anybody knows that. Most of the departments are, but we do not bill. I don't believe in that. Your tax dollars is what keeps us going. But 3 or 4 minutes ahead of time, calling because you don't feel very good, or waiting 2 hours after you maybe go down and pass out and become unresponsive because of a heart attack, call us. I'd rather come out, put a heart monitor on you, check your blood pressure, maybe check your blood sugar, and say, you know what, we don't see anything here tonight, but you probably should do a follow-up with your family doctor tomorrow. That would be our recommendations. Or we'll take a look at that heart monitor and go, hey, nothing to alarm you, but there's a couple things going on here we probably should get ahead of the game. And the only way we're going to be able to tell that is get you to the proper medical facility and let them treat you and find out what's going on, because a heart monitor is not the all telltale sign. I mean, you have to go in and get blood work and other things. So please call us early, let us come out and say, you know what, ma'am, you're fine, see your family doctor tomorrow, don't worry about bothers, that's what your tax dollars are for, and we'll see you tomorrow, see you the next time you need us, or we may pack you up and take you in, okay? So, that's what I recommend you do. Hopefully you call us in a time of need, and hopefully it's not very much. To tell you what the bad things are about the department, 16 times out of 901, we were unable to get a crew. So that's going to tell you, of the 16, 7 times we were on other runs. It could have been the second run and the volunteers couldn't get there during paid hours and get us out because they were all at work. It could have been the third run, or it could have been during volunteer hours and just happened to be nobody was around. I don't like to say that, but that's the truth of the matter. 23 times we didn't get crews. We may have handled the first one, but we didn't handle the second or third. So think about that. That's why I always tell you, early intervention, because you may have to, if you don't know it, but if we can't get a crew, or National Trails, or Glenford covering part of Bowling Green Township, the system is set up that we have what they call automatic mutual aid. After 6 minutes, they start another department. It's all on a run card. It's all programmed in the dispatch center. So they'll call the next closest department. But it's 6 minutes. And then they may be volunteer, and they may be 5 or 6 minutes getting out the door. So it could be 20, 25 minutes before somebody gets there. So that's why I really recommend early intervention. Of course, like I said, we did 901, averaged out about 2.5 runs a day, and about 75 runs a month.